Good evening, I'm Lindsay Brown. This is Nightcast. Tonight, the story of a woman who died just hours after her wedding. For years, Minneapolis police said she was not murdered, but MPD now confirms it is reopening the case after repeated questions from 5 investigators. Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen broke the news of that major development earlier at 6. And Eric, it's just the latest twist in a mystery that you've been investigating for months.
Lindsay, family members have been pleading with police to take another look at this case ever since Elisa Gomez was found dead in her home almost 6 years ago. 3 years ago, the Minnesota Department of Public Safety urged MPD to reopen the case, citing numerous deficiencies in the investigation, but little came of that letter until now. When police came to this house with the broken gate on Cedar Avenue in Minneapolis, when officers went inside and found the body of 47-year-old Elisa Gomez.
You're going to need how much for out here? He needs to be out. This not straight up DOA.
They had a mystery involving a bride and a groom. Hi, is this Brad?
We thought they were going to do an investigation, but they really never did.
A mystery that's haunted Elisa's family ever since.
I feel like she talks to me all the time because I don't sleep.
Sergeant Valala, today's date is 10/11/2016.
As police at the house would discover, it all started with a whirlwind romance and a surprise wedding.
So how do you guys decide to get married? How does this come about?
That's kind of crazy.
Before Elisa Ann Gomez met Bradley James Alexander in the summer of 2016, Gomez had already made a life for herself as an artist who collaborated on a mural at US Bank Stadium, a teacher at a Korean immersion school in St. Paul, and an animal lover with her own dog-sitting business.
She was busy all the time. She was doing everything, but her biggest love was animals.
Enter Brad Alexander.
I had heard she met somebody.
Text messages tell the story of a fast-moving, passionate, and sometimes volatile relationship that once included Elisa threatening to take her own life. But love seemingly prevailed.
Well, he got down on his hands and knees and begged her to get married.
Elisa's mother, Judy Hunt, says she got a phone call and a text with a picture of a marriage certificate on October 10th, 2016.
And my heart just dropped. I said, "Did you get married?" And she said, "Yes."
That call at 8:42 on a Monday night would be the last time she ever spoke to her daughter.
Sorry. Thankfully, I said, "I love you."
Despite plans for a big wedding that spring, Brad and Elisa suddenly decided to get married at this service center in Edina around 5 p.m.
It went so fast, I just figured there's something wrong here.
The newlyweds celebrated just down the street from their house at the Cedar Inn Bar in South Minneapolis. Security cameras recorded a smiling Elisa arriving with roommate Sharon Vestal after 11 p.m. But the celebration didn't last long. After an argument about 1:45, Elisa leaves alone. When Brad and the roommate come out, she's gone.
So I came and walked this, I took photographs.
John Bishop is a police captain in Oklahoma who's originally from Minnesota.
Elisa had been drinking, but she wasn't drunk.
After seeing early reports about Elisa's death, Bishop volunteered to help her family investigate.
From your wedding day on your wedding night to a body bag, that's a lot. That's very suspicious.
Adding to his suspicion, a text from Elisa to Brad an hour after she left that bar alone. At 1:47 a.m., she wrote, "We made a mistake. It's not the end of the world. I'm on my way back."
911, what's the address of the emergency? It's Cedar Avenue South.
This 911 call at 2:19 a.m.
There are some people outside our dining room window arguing and carrying on.
Does it sound like male voices or?
Sounds like a man and a woman, I think.
Man and a woman, okay.
More evidence. Elisa and Brad continued to argue just outside their home. 6 hours later, police came out for a second 911 call, this time from Elisa's roommate Sharon, to report Elisa had hanged herself.
Okay. What was she hanging from, do you know?
Like the pink scarf.
Pink scarf?
The roommate said she had already cut Elisa down. She told police it was Brad who first found her hanging in the couple's basement bedroom.
This doesn't look cut. But that's hair, isn't that? That's hair.
Officer Daniel Willis was the first to call this a crime scene.
They're gonna need how much out here? He needs to be out. This let's not straight up DOA.
Brad Alexander has never been named a suspect in Elisa's death.
You got married yesterday? Is that correct?
Yes.
But 5 Investigates obtained this audio recording of a homicide detective interviewing Alexander for 30 minutes at the scene.
Did you hurt her?
No, there's no doubt in my mind that she did it to herself.
The interview was very short. It was in a car. It wasn't very structured.
Bishop, the Oklahoma police captain with more than 30 years of experience, says MPD investigators failed to follow up.
They weren't asking the questions in a manner that would put stress on him. They weren't investigating his past.
A past.
I got on my laptop. I'm like, I'm gonna look this guy up.
Angie Wesp only discovered after her sister's death.
And I got goosebumps all over. I said, he's on parole for strangulation of his ex-wife.
In fact, several women have accused Brad Alexander of choking them. After he was convicted of domestic assault in 2010, his ex-wife told the court, "I am still alive, but Brad is capable of killing anyone who lets him into their life."
They should have grabbed him up, brought him in for a hard interview, and asked the hard questions.
Based on that history?
Yes, sir. Based on that history.
We spent weeks looking for Brad Alexander in Carver County, where he's still under state supervision for a drunk driving conviction. An address led us to a private road in Chaska, but this is as far as we could go. Then, earlier this month,
Hi, is this Brad?
we got him on the phone.
I'm reaching out about Elisa Gomez. Do you have a moment to speak with me?
We're not allowed to air his end of the conversation without his consent.
I just have to ask. Did you kill Elisa?
His answer to my question was, no, I did not.
Do you know who might have been involved?
His answer, no, I do not.
Is there anything else you'd want to say about this?
His answer again, no. In this autopsy report, the Hennepin County Medical Examiner ruled Elisa's cause of death as ligature hanging under uncertain circumstances, adding they cannot exclude potential injury by another person. But several outside investigators say police did not follow up with Brad, the roommate, or others who may have been there.
There's just no way she fell straight down, hanging by her neck, into the room.
Now Bishop says his own forensic review of crime scene photos and the position of Elisa's body has raised more questions.
My hypothesis is that she was on the ground and had to be elevated with the use of the step stool to get to that point where he could tie the knot. There's so much stuff that they could have followed up on, and they haven't to this day.
At the end of the day, they have to be held accountable for what they didn't do.
Family members thought some of that accountability was coming in 2019 when the Minnesota Department of Public Safety and its Office of Justice Programs issued this memo to Minneapolis Police requesting that the case be reopened and fully investigated, citing a lack of follow-up with witnesses and inconsistencies in their stories.
Did that feel like a win to you at the time?
Yes, so I was thrilled. I thought, finally, we're going to get somewhere.
You got a meeting, right?
We got a meeting.
That was it.
They go, okay, we're here. What do you want to talk about? I mean, that's how they approached us.
Still waiting for answers. This is where Elisa's family has come to mourn for the last 6 years.
Just never gets easier.
To tie ribbons on a tree in her memory on the shores of Lake Nokomis where Elisa walked her dogs. But even here, her family says peace still feels out of reach.
I just pray every day for justice, because she certainly deserves it.
As soon as police confirmed to us that they were reopening this case, we had a chance to tell Elisa's family directly. We want to show you their reaction to that news now when I spoke with them. I wanted to tell you police say they are reopening this investigation.
my gosh. I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
Are you kidding me?
I'm serious.
Oh my gosh.
Now again, Brad Alexander has never been named a suspect in the death of Elisa Gomez. In fact, no one has, because MPD had closed the case as a suicide.
Well, what is the response from police at this point?
Well, you saw the statement from MPD. We've been asking to speak with Minneapolis Police, the Hennepin County Medical Examiner, and state investigators for weeks now. So far, they've all declined our requests for interviews. We've also tried to reach Elisa's old roommate, but we're still waiting to hear back from her as well, Lindsay.
So many questions, but this family has been through so much, Eric.
Certainly.
All right, thank you.